It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Mary McKnight here with Service Dog Academy and Diabetic Alert Dog University. It is Monday, which means it's Medical Alert Dog Monday. We're going to answer your questions about Medical Alert Dog training. As you know, each week I come to you with a socialization item, and this week's socialization item is construction related. So the reason why I recommend that you go to construction sites and you also pretend to do construction in your home is because, number one, construction is loud and noisy, and there are lots of men involved with it. But the one thing that I found that helped my service dogs become great on airplanes and great on public transit was the fact that I did a bunch of construction here in my basement. So what I did was, when I moved into my house, there was a room down here, and it was all like wood paneling. It was horrible. It looked 1980s Stranger Things wood paneling. And so what I did was I literally busted out all the walls down here. And what that did was it allowed the dogs to hear loud noises and allowed the dogs to physically feel the shaking that sometimes comes with construction. So the loud noise and the shaking. And guess what happens when you get on an airplane or you go on a train is that you're going to hear loud noises, and the actual train or the, mode of transportation that you're on is going to be physically shaking. So like when an airplane takes off, what happens is sometimes all of the luggage at the bottom of the airplane kind of shifts to the back of the airplane and goes cluck, 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 and can like physically shake the airplane. And that can be very scary for a lot of dogs if you haven't trained your dog to be okay with the fact that something could be clunking and moving underneath them. So I think construction and getting your dog around construction sites and maybe, banging on the basement walls of your house with a sledgehammer or on a support beam or something like that with a hammer, and so that your dog can feel the house shaking a little bit. Don't like knock out a wall unless you actually have to knock out a wall, but getting your dog used to the fact that something could be shaking underneath them and that they are still going to be okay. That's a really good thing for service dogdom, not only for transportation like airplanes and buses and trains, but also for elevators. That's another thing that that can clunk sometimes and physically shake. So again, the way that I recommend doing this is someone be downstairs maybe banging on a wall, and then your dog gets fed with food. We always want to use food in our training because food overwhelms the anxiety center of the brain. All right, Cooper from Memphis, Tennessee has our question of the week. So Cooper has dysautonomia, and he is looking to get a puppy to train to alert to his fainting episodes. So Cooper wants to know why we have officially changed our position on recommendations about what types of dogs people should get for service work. So Cooper, this is so timely. Your question is so timely. I'm thankful for it. So because I'm sure that you've probably looked on our website, we had an ebook that we put out in, I think it was 2012 maybe, called Super Puppy. And in it, we recommended that you find pretty much any stably temperamented dog to use as a candidate for your service work. But what has happened is we have been surrounded on all sides by a governmental administration and companies that literally want to take your rights away and restrict your ability to access the public with a task-trained service dog. So I'm sure you're going, what is she talking about? I've never heard about this. What government administration what are they doing to try and take away our access? Well, in February, the Senate passed something called the ADA, Education and Reform Act, and which, if it was passed in the House, would have required a 60-day public notice given to a access grantor to fix a problem before you could actually sue them for denying you access with your service dog. So that if it had passed, there are a lot of House members that went against this. Thank God, it didn't pass. But the fact that this bill went up in the first place is really, really messed up. What it means is that if this legislation had been passed, it would have easily allowed hotels and restaurants, doctor's office, amusement parks, and other environments like grocery stores to immediately deny you access to their environment with little recourse for that denial. So if they said you can't come in, you literally had little recourse. Now, if it happens right now, you can actually sue them for access issues and access denials. But if this law would have passed, it would have taken you 60 days for them to right this wrong, and which means basically they could immediately deny service dogs for another 60 days and potentially create another situation where they deny you again, and then they got another 60 days to deal with it. So it would have created a situation that would have highly prevented people from being able to sue people who decide not to allow a service dog into a public environment. Thankfully, that law was not enacted, but it was an attempt by the Trump administration to gut the Americans with Disabilities Act. Yes, I did just say that. The Trump administration and the Republicans are trying to gut the Americans with Disabilities Act. Pair this with the fact that airlines are now cracking down on emotional support dogs. Some airlines are now outright banning, like Delta outright banned pit bull type dogs from flying on their airplanes. Publix has now come out with a statement saying that they will no longer allow dogs to be in shopping carts. Now, this actually isn't part of the ADA access laws that your dog can't be in a shopping cart. But, I know some of my students who use small dogs, and they, carry their dog everywhere with them. And I don't typically recommend students do this, but, we do have several students have legitimate diabetic alert dogs who actually have small dogs that they use for their condition. But you can see that there have been small changes in the last couple of months and even last year or so that have gone and rescinded some rights that people have when it comes to accessing the public with a service dog. Given these changes in policies by organizations all around the United States, it is now my personal and professional recommendation that if you have an invisible disability, you choose a stereotypical service dog, like a Labrador Retriever, a Golden Retriever, a Poodle, or a mix thereof, like Labradoodle or Golden Doodle. Why? So you can fly under the radar. You walk into a store with your Labrador or a Labradoodle, and everyone is just going to assume that it's a service dog. However, you'll walk in with your pocket pooch or Rottweiler, and you are automatically asking for trouble. I don't have anything against Rottweilers or pocket pooches. I have nothing against them, but unfortunately, the public does, and access grantors do. So life with a disability is hard enough as it is. And there is no reason to add to it by choosing a breed that could potentially be, number one, banned, or one that makes you look like you are a faker, or one that makes the company think that your dog doesn't deserve access rights because it doesn't look friendly enough. Public perception problems are real. You'll walk in with a lab and everyone is going to ooh and ah and oh, how cute, oh, isn't that a cute dog? But you'll walk into a place with a German Shepherd and people immediately think, because of the history of German Shepherds being police dogs and search and rescue dogs and guard dogs, that it's something to immediately be feared. I grew up with a German Shepherd. I know that, those dogs are not the way that people perceive them. However, not everybody has had the experience that service dog trainers have had and the experience that I have had with German Shepherds. In fact, there are some guide dog organizations now that don't even train German Shepherds anymore because of this exact reason, because of the perception that a German Shepherd is a dog to be feared. What you don't want to do is you don't ever want to give people the chance to make a decision about your dog. If you go incognito with a stereotypical service dog, I guarantee you, your life is going to be so much easier in public. So we just happen to be having a litter of imprinted Labradoodles that will be going home between Thanksgiving and Christmas of 2018. If you are interested in getting one of our puppies, watch our free 1.5-hour class on how to not get scammed by a breeder by going to our website at servicedogacademy.com and clicking on the Get a Dog heading. So what do you think of my advice? Do you think I should be considering what the public's perception is of your dog and what the service access grantors is opinion on your service dog when it comes to you choosing a breed for your service dog? I don't know. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel or at our website at servicedogacademy.com. If you are interested in training your own medical alert dog in the comfort of your own home, you can use our online video program called Diabetic Alert Dog University. The first video is even free. If you have a question about training or purchasing a medical alert dog, please email me at info@servicedogacademy.com and I will try to answer it in the next week's episode. Please be sure to share this video with your friends and subscribe to our newsletter, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Not only subscribe to our YouTube channel, but click on the little bell icon to be notified when we post brand new videos. Want one-on-one attention and can't come to St. Louis? That's okay. Because of the laws of the internet, I can transcend space and time. I frequently Skype with students all around the world. And this allows me to see you and you to see me, and I could diagnose problems immediately right over our webcams. So this is a great way to help you through any problems or concerns that you're having with your medical alert dog training in a personal one-on-one session. I just want to remind you that you can have a self-trained medical alert dog. All it really takes is time, patience, a dog with the right temperament, and working with the right experienced trainer. I now have over 150 medical alert dogs for diabetes, migraines, narcolepsy, POTS, AFib, and other experimental alert dogs, which you don't know about yet. I might talk about in future videos, all across the world. I hope one day soon you can be a Service Dog Academy student and have a life-saving medical alert dog of your own.